This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1. The angel wearing linen clothes said, at that time, the great angel Michael, who guards your people, will appear. Then there will be a time of troubles, the worst sign, the worst since a nation first came into existence. When that time comes, all the people of your nations whose names are written in Power's book will be saved. I like to give all praises and glory and honor to Almighty Yahweh Yahushai. I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Almighty Yahweh Yahushai. Double honors to the men of GMS who rule well. Peace and safety to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Boaz on the set once again. Now, we understand that we're coming to the time of the end, okay? Basically we're coming to the time of the end, okay, of this man Esau Edom rulership. All the signs is there, okay. Our job is to keep 10 toes down, like we've discussed, and keep calling on the names of Yahweh Yahushai so you can make it out here with your life when this thing goes down. That's what this is. Let's get it. The book of Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I said, what shall be the parting of the sunder of times? Or when shall the end of the first be from the beginnings of that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob had first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so we know that's what this is about. That's what this is all about, okay? And like we discussed on multiple occasions, if you want to be saved and if you want to make it out of here with your life, you're calling upon the names of Yahweh Yahushai, okay? All the signs is there. Okay, let's get it. The book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 11. And this is from a GNT translation. From the time the daily sacrifices are stopped, that is, from the time of the awful horror, 1,290 days will pass. Happy are those who remain faithful until the 1,335 days are over. And you, Daniel, be faithful to the end. Then you will die, but you will rise and receive your reward at the end of time. Okay? So that's what this is about. Okay? The book of, turn to the book of Yoel. One moment. Turn to the book of Yoel, chapter 1, verse 15. The day of Yahweh is near, the day when the Almighty, brings destruction. What terror that day will be will bring, okay? So the day of Yahweh Shai is not no joke, okay? It's a day of dread. It's a day of dread, okay? It's not a game, okay? That's why you have to call upon Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, while you still can, while the doors of mercy are still open, okay? That's what this is all about. The book of Yoel, chapter 2, verse 1. Blow the trumpet and sound the alarm on Zion's power, sacred hill. Tremble, people of Judah. The day of Yahweh is coming soon. It will be a day of gloomy day, a day of black and cloudy day, a day of great army of locusts advances like a dark spreading over the mountains. There has never been anything like it, and there will never be again. Like fire to eat up the plants in front of them, the land is like the Garden of Eden, but behind them it is like a barren desert. Nothing escapes them. They look like horses, they run like war horses as they leap on the top of the mountains. They rattle like chariots, they crackle like dry grass or fire. They are lined up like great armies ready for battle. As they approach, everyone is terrified. Every face turns pale. They attack like warriors. They climb into the walls of the doors. They all keep marching straight ahead and do not change directions or get in the way of each other's way. They swarm through their defenses and nothing can stop them. So this is a great and notable day of Yahweh Yahushai. The book of Isaiah chapter, let's go verse 10. Chapter 2, verse 10. They will hide in caves in the rocky hills or dig holes in the ground try to escape from Yahweh's anger and hide from his power and glory. A day is coming when humans' pride will be ended and human arrogance will be destroyed. Then Yahweh alone will be exalted. On that day, Yahweh will be humbled. Everyone who is powerful, everyone who is proud and conceited. Okay, so coming over here, the book of Isaiah chapter 13, verse 9. The day of Yahweh is coming. That cruel day is his fierce anger and fury. The earth and every sinner in wilderness and every sinner will be destroyed, okay? So Yahweh Shah is going to destroy every sinner, okay? That's what this thing's about. The book of First Peter chapter 4 verse 12. My dear friends, do not be surprised at a painful test you are suffering, as were something were unusual happening to you. Rather, be glad that you are sharing in Mashiach's suffering, so that when you may be full of joy when his glory is revealed. Happy are you when you are insulted because of Mashiach's followers. This means that the glory of spirit, the spirit of power, is resting on you. If you suffer, it must not be because you are a murderer or a thief or a criminal or a meddler in other people's affairs. However, if you suffer because you are a Christian, do not be ashamed. For if you thank power that you be Mashiach's name. The time has come for judgment to begin, and power's own people are the first to be judged. And if we start with us, how would it end with those who do not believe the good news from power? As the scripture says, if it is difficult for good people to be saved, what then shall become of the ungodly and the sinner? So then, those who suffer because of power's will for them should, by their good actions, trust themselves completely to their creators, who is always keeping his promise. You have to fellowship with Yahweh Shai, okay? That's what Yahweh Shai is looking for. The book of Genesis chapter 5 verse 22. After that, Enoch lived in fellowship with power for 300 years, and when he and others children, he lived to be 365 years old. He spent his life in fellowship with power, and then he disappeared because power took him, okay? So you have to be of Yahweh Shai, okay? Yahweh Shai took him. You have to be in fellowship with Yahweh Shai, okay? That's what he's looking for, okay? He's looking for the ones that's going to be fellowship and keeping their posture in him and keeping their integrity. That's what this is about, okay? That's what he's looking for, men and women who's going to keep their integrity and call upon the names of Yahweh Shai even when it hurts. The book of Genesis chapter 6 verse 5. When Yahweh saw how everyone on the earth was and how evil their thoughts were all the time, he was sorrow that he have ever made them and put them on the earth. He said he was so filled with regret that he said, I will wipe these people I have created and also the animals and the birds, because I am sorry that I made any of them. But Yahweh was pleased with Noah, okay? So Yahweh Shah was pleased with Noah, okay? That's what this is about, okay? You have to please Yahweh Shai. You have to walk in fellowship. And how do we walk in fellowship? Keeping our toes, 10 toes down, and keeping it, calling on the names of Yahweh and following the doctrine, okay? This is how you keep in fellowship with Yahweh Shai. This word, these scriptures. The book of Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. This is the story of Noah had three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Noah had found no fault and the only good man of his time. He lived in fellowship with power, but everyone else was evil in the sight of Yahweh. Violence has spread everywhere. Power's good. Power looked at the world and it was full of evil, for the people were all living in evil lives. So you have to come back to the one who made you. Okay, one moment. Turn to the book of Jeremiah. Give me a second here. Gotta find this scripture. 50, verse 20. The book of Jeremiah 50, verse 20. At that time comes, when that time comes, no sin will be found in Israel and no wickedness in Judah, because I will forgive those people who lives. I have spared. I, Yahweh, have spoken. So it's like we discussed on multiple occasions. It's not going to be much people to make it out of here with their life when this thing goes down. It's only going to be a little bit of people to make it out of here with their life when this thing goes down. Okay, and I don't know about you. I want to make it out of here with my life when this thing goes down. Okay, I don't want to be destroyed. Okay, I want to call upon the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and make it out of here with my life when this thing goes down. The the book of Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 1. Yahweh says, I am bringing a destructive wind against Babylon and its people, okay? That destructive wind is thermonuclear destruction, okay? Destroying this place. The book of 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10. But the day of Yahweh will come like a thief. On that day, the heavens will disappear with a shrill noise, and the heavenly bodies will be burnt up and be destroyed, and the earth with everything in it will vanish. Hopefully you was edified. I like to give all glory and honor to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.